With Don G. We are back. Derek Straney is with me, and he is a registered dietitian with American Senior Communities. Welcome back to the show, Derek.
Thank you so much for having me, John.
All right, this is something very important because I think sometimes, you know, we all have seniors that we love, and they want to be independent, and that's all good and fine and all. But you want to make sure, though, that they're eating correctly.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of times, you know, it may not be the fact that they may be very healthy and able to get around, yet they're just not concentrating on their diet. That's something where you can help. Registered dietitian. Let's talk a little bit about that. Exercise, diet combination, is that something you practice and preach?
We practice at American Senior Communities. We actually have like a range of motion with our restorative program we have that makes sure it keeps the functional status, making sure that we have OT, speech therapy, physical therapy, trying to keep the functional status of the resident as high as functional as possible. And then I come in with diet. I try to do diet education, especially with our Moving Forward unit, which is our rehab to home. So those that are with Medicare 100 days or less that come in for rehab for a knee replacement and just need some education on their specific clinical, like if they're diabetic, you know, I can do a one-on-one education with them and the family. The main thing is most of the time with our residents, the family's very involved with the shopping, making sure that the grocery list is getting found. So we provide this diet education one-on-one with the family to make sure they have a shopping list, a guy to go by, make sure everything's in moderation, making sure how their meds are set up at home, making sure they are eating they're with renal, making sure their meds are with their meals and stuff like that. We try to make sure we do that as quick as possible, and then we can do a re-education by the end, so that way it's reinforced, it's structured, making sure they go home into a safe environment and making sure that they're practicing what we preach. So
let's be honest though, we all like it when it's simple. You know, if it's simple. So do you have any like easy diet tips, easy diet menu tips for folks at home?
The best thing, portion sizes. If you can look at your portion size, right now I'm doing the 21-day fix, and it's great. I mean, even for me, like, I'm not a big exercise fan. It gets me 30 minutes in of exercise a day. Right when I get ready to pass out, it's over. So then I wait till the next day. And the best thing about it, though, like portion size, it's easy to say 3 ounce or 4 ounce. But okay, what does that actually look like? So we actually try to look at like size of your fist portion. So if you're able to eat maybe a starchy vegetable like like corn, and then maybe your good vegetables like your greens, your kales, your spinaches, asparagus, stuff like that, and then like a good red or white meat, size of your fist portion. Start out with that, and try to eat little meals. Don't eat your 3 big meals, or don't eliminate any meals. That's probably the worst thing we have that we have in our society going right now is our portion sizes. We always want the bigger for bang for a buck, and so you can actually and for the 21-day fix, it breaks it down to like a good portion size. If you're trying to start a diet, it kind of tells you what are your better options. It breaks down the portion sizes, how many canisters you have for that portion a day, and just makes it a lot easier for if you're especially just starting out. It's easy. It's kind of hard to go into like you're going to meet me and I'm going to do really specific on portion size and don't do this and don't do that and moderate this and moderate that. But the good thing about that, it starts out with portion control, and that's what us as Americans have the most issue with, is starting out just that portion control, because we're worried about, well, you're going to take away this, you're going to take away that. No, we're just limiting. Moderation, moderation, moderation.
Okay, keyword moderation. Now, for your residents at American Senior Communities, how much does preference weigh in? Because I know there's a lot of trends with foods, and but you don't want to, by the same token, you don't want to force foods on them. No. So do you talk to your residents about what they like and enjoy?
That's probably the main thing with keeping the residents happy, because they don't really have a lot of selection when it comes to their therapy. They need their therapy to either go home, so a lot of residents want to go as soon as they can after rehab. And so I try to meet with them as soon as we can. Either me, we have a consultant, our concierge nurse that meets with them one-on-one, kind of like their one-on-one person they go to if there's any issues with food or therapy. We try to get that fixed right then. But preferences is huge. It's a transition for both the family and the resident. So we're making that transition as easy as possible, making sure the family knows this resident eats 5 small meals a day, make sure we get those snacks, what they like, making sure, because a lot of residents and the family too, if you get something you dislike on your plate, you just totally omit the meal. So we want to make sure that we avoid those so that way the resident is able to eat as much as possible and weight stability. And then we also do selected menus. So we have a corporate menu we follow, and then depending on if they're on a therapeutic diet for the consistent carbs, renals, 2 grams, stuff like that, we have a diet we follow for them. They have their own menu. But when it comes to the regulars, and then they can select, they have 3 options a day. They have a soup and sandwich, the main meal, and then we also do the residents select a meal. So we have, like, one day might be a coney cheese dog, one day might be a chicken salad sandwich, Monday might be a chef salad, and we do a 7-day rotation. But we have a food committee. We have a food committee that meets twice a month, and they discuss which if they want to change their alternate. So they're very involved with the menu planning as well, and that's key. And one making sure that we get their trends and get their likes in there, but also getting them involved as an activity as well.
Okay, Derek. Now, if we have viewers at home and perhaps they visit mom or dad, once a month, once every 2 months or so, and they're thinking about a senior community, but mom or dad is telling them, or grandfather or grandmother, telling them that, I eat fine, I'm very healthy, but you don't know. What are some signs of malnutrition? What should you look for?
When you look at for the skin turgor for dehydration, so if you have a good reflex on your skin, skin tone and color's good on that, you're going to look for wounds. If they have a wound that's nagging, it won't go away, that's a good sign for it. You see moderate weight loss, you see that's probably the main, and loss of appetite. You see that they're not eating as much as frequently, or their tastes are changing as we get older, where taste changes, so you're seeing they're not eating their favorite things like they used to, and they're not in the same routine. And so if
that makes sense. Okay, are there certain supplements that you recommend as we age?
Well, it depends on your clinical status too. Let's say if you're a diabetic and you're not eating as great, you want a supplemental shake, Glucagon is a good option for that. It's a low carb option. Nepro for renal, a lot of times they offer at Dallas is a Nepro bar, a Nepro shake, low potassium, low phos, low sodium, stuff like that. If you're just looking for weight gain, 2Cal is a great option. It's high calorie, calorie dense, so you don't need as many cans as that, or Ensure Plus. Most of the time you can get Ensure, maybe not in clinical strength, at Walgreens or right at your local pharmacy. But sometimes the specialized have to be an actual rec, so you might need it from a doctor.
American senior communities, and you mentioned something in the beginning, Derek, that I think is important, that I hear from a lot of your professionals who come on the show, that the relationship with the family is important to you.
It is important.
You want to make sure they can be as involved as they want to be. In fact, you encourage it, correct?
Encourage it, because like I said, it's a transition for both families. You want to make sure the family's comfortable, you want to make sure the resident's comfortable. As long as you get both those in harmony, you're able to have a good stay, you're able to do your therapies, you're able to make sure the preferences are followed, making sure that diet plus therapy plus the nursing aspect of it as well can get the resident home safe as possible.
All right, once again, Derek Straney, he is a registered dietitian, American Senior Communities. There's the information up on your screen. You might want to check him out. He's a registered dietitian. They have professional therapists, of course, for PT. They'll talk about exercise, diet, and making sure that the senior in your life is loved and cared for correctly. Derek, appreciate it. Which location are you at?
I'm at Hillcrest Village in Jeffersonville and Riverview in Clarksville.
All right.
They have me both.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday. Enjoy the warm weather. We'll see you Monday on Wave 3 Listens Live.